Good morning, students. Hi, my name is Siddhant Jain. So, today's our topic is fractions and decimals. Now, we all know about what are fractions. So, first of all, we will discuss about fractions. Now, basically, a fraction is a number representing a part of a whole. For example, if we say 3 by 7, it means that this fraction represents 3 parts out of 7 equal parts in which the whole is divided is denoted as 3 by 7. This fraction represents 3 parts out of 7 equal parts. Let's take another example. We take a fraction as 2 by 9. This fraction can be represented as 2 parts out of 9 equal parts. The first and the most important property of a fraction is fraction cannot be a negative quantity. Fraction cannot be a negative quantity. Now the question arises is fraction comes from which family? Basically, fraction comes from the family of rational numbers. Now, what is the main difference between a rational number and a fraction? Because both can be represented in the form of p by q. So, many times students comes into problem that and they say fraction and rational numbers both are same, but it's a very different topic. Rational number can be a negative number, but fraction cannot be a rational number. Fraction cannot be a negative number because fraction represents the part of a whole. A part cannot be a negative part. For example, rational number can be negative, but fraction is always positive. For a simple reason is fraction represents a part of a whole, and a part of a whole cannot be a negative quantity, it must be a positive quantity. For example, in a day-to-day life, if you select a circle and cut and take this circle as a single part 1, and if you cut this portion of the circle, this portion represents the fraction of a part of a whole, means that 1 by third part of the circle. So we have come to the conclusion that fraction cannot be a negative quantity. Fraction should always be a positive quantity. Now we will come to the next topic is what are the various types of fractions. So the various types of fractions can be termed as various types of fractions. Topic is first type of the fraction is decimal fraction. Now what is a decimal fraction is? A fraction whose denominator is any of the numbers like 10, 100, 1000, etc. is called a decimal fraction. In a simple language, a fraction whose denominator is always can be written in the power of 10. Let's say a fraction is in the form of x by p. So p should always be a number in the form of 10, 100, 10,000, etc. Means that it should be a number in the power of 10. So the fraction can be termed as a decimal fraction. Moving to the next type of fraction is vulgar fraction. Vulgar fraction. Now what is a vulgar fraction? A fraction whose denominator is a whole number other than 10, 100, 1000, etc. is called a vulgar fraction. I repeat, a fraction whose denominator is a whole number other than 10, 100, 1000 is a vulgar fraction. It can be termed as, let's say we take the fraction as x by p. So p should not be equals to the power of 10, where n is the natural number. In simple language, we can say that a vulgar fraction is a fraction which is not a decimal fraction. A vulgar fraction is a fraction which is not a decimal fraction. Moving to the next type of fraction is, the third type is proper fraction. Proper. Now, as the term says, proper fraction, the definition of a proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator is called a proper fraction. I repeat, a fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator is called a proper fraction. So numerator should be less than the denominator. Let's say we take a fraction as x by p form. So the value of x should always be less than the value of p, and this gives us the proper fraction. Now moving to the next type of fraction is improper fraction. Improper fraction. Now the definition of improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is more than or equals to the denominator is called an improper fraction. I repeat, a fraction whose numerator is more than or equal to the denominator is called an improper fraction. In simple terms, a fraction which is not a proper fraction is improper fraction. For example, we say x by p is a fraction, so the value of x should always be equals to or greater than to p, gives you the improper fraction. Now moving to the next type of fraction, that is mixed fraction. So a mixed fraction is a fraction which is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. Mixed fraction can be termed as a fraction which is a combination of whole number plus proper fraction gives you the mixed fraction. For example, 2, 3 by 5 can be termed as mixed fraction because it contains a whole number and a proper fraction part. This 2 is the whole number part and this 3 by 5 is the proper fraction part. Because in proper fraction, numerator is always less than the denominator. So a mixed fraction is a fraction which contains both the whole number part and the proper fraction part. Now moving to the next type of fraction, that is like fraction. Like fraction. Now first of all, we look at the definition of like fraction, which is fractions having the same denominators are called like fractions. Means that all the fractions having the same denominator can be termed as like fractions. For example, 7 by 12, 5 by 12, 9 by 12, 11 by 12. These all are like fractions because they are having the same denominator. So like fractions should always have same denominator. Now moving to the last type of fraction, that is unlike fraction. Unlike fraction. Now the definition of unlike fraction is a fraction is said to be in its lowest term if its numerator and denominator have only a one common factor, which is 1. In simple terms, if the HCF of the numerator and the denominator is 1, then the fraction can be termed as unlike fraction. For example, 2 by 13. Now the term 2 and the term 13 have the HCF as only 1. So this whole fraction can be termed as unlike fraction. Another example, 7 by 24, 9 by 125, 11 upon 25, etc. These all are unlike fractions because they are having the HCF of numerator and the denominator term is only 1. Now we will understand about how to compare the other type of fractions. So our next topic is comparing fractions. Now sometimes you may get the questions like which is the greater number between the two fractions, and the question can be asked as which is greater, 3 by 5 or 5 by 12. Now to proceed in these type of problems, first of all take the LCM of the denominator term. Take the LCM of the denominator term. On taking the LCM, 5 comma 12, LCM of 5 comma 12 gives you 60. So the term 3 by 5 can be written as 3 into 12 upon 5 into 12, and the term 5 by 12 can be written as 5 into 5 upon 12 into 5. This 3 upon 12 upon 5 upon 12 terms gives you the answer as 36 upon 60, and this terms gives you 25 upon 60. Now you can easily compare both the fractions because the denominator of the terms is now the same. So the term which is having the higher number of numerator is the largest term. So on comparing 36 by 60 and 25 by 60, we get the answer as 36 by 60 is greater than 25 by 60. So the answer which is coming as 3 by 5 is the larger term as compared with 5 by 12. So this is the easiest way to compare the two terms on fractions. Now moving to the next type of question, which is larger. 3 by 4 comma 5 by 9 comma 2 by 7. Now we have to find which is the larger term in these three terms. Now to start this type of problem, as I told you earlier, take the LCM of the denominator term. LCM of the denominator term is coming as 4 is the first denominator term, then 9, and then 7. So LCM of the denominator term is coming as 4 into 9 into 7 gives you the answer as 63 into 4 gives you 252 as the LCM. Now comparing this 252 with 4, on dividing this value we get 63 on the numerator side. So 3 into 63 divided by 4 into 63 comma 5 into 28 divided by 9 into 28 comma 2 multiplied by 36 divided by 7 multiplied by 36. Now multiplying 3 by 63, we get 189 on the numerator side, and the denominator is the LCM of 459, comma 28 multiplied by 5 gives you the answer as 140 divided by 252, and 36 multiplied by 2 gives you 72 divided by 252. Now you can easily compare the larger term among the three terms which is written is 189 divided by 252. So the order can be written like this, that is 3 by 4 is greater than 5 by 9 is greater than 2 by 7. So the larger term is 3 by 4. Larger term is 3 by 4. Now moving on to the next topic, how to convert unlike fractions to like fractions. Conversion of unlike fractions to like fractions. Now how to convert this? First of all, write any type you want, that is unlike fractions can be written as 7 by 6, comma 5 by 9, comma 5 by 12. Now you have to convert these unlike fractions to like fractions. First of all, check whether a fraction is unlike or not. Now you can see that HCF of 7 and 6 is 1, HCF of 5 and 9 is 1, and HCF of 5 and 12 is also 1. So these all three fractions are unlike fractions. Now you have to compare these unlike fractions to like fractions. So how to convert these unlike fractions to like fractions? First of all, take the LCM of the denominator term. On taking the LCM of 6, 9 and 12 can be written as 6 is equals to 2 into 3, 9 is equals to 3 square, and 12 can be written as 2 square into 3. So LCM of 6, 9 and 12 can be written as 2 square multiplied by 3 square gives you the answer as 4 into 9 is equals to 36. So the LCM of 6, 9 and 12 is coming as 36. So starting with the previous problem, which is convert the unlike fractions to the like fractions, the problem was 7 by 5, comma 7 by 6, 7 by 6, comma 5 by 9, comma 5 by 12. Now the LCM is coming as 36. So compare the LCM with the 6, 9 and 12 terms. 7 into 6 divided by 6 into 6, comma 5 into 4 divided by 9 into 4, comma 5 into 3 divided by 12 into 3. Now you can see that 7 into 6 gives you the answer as 42 divided by 36. 5 into 4 gives you the answer as 20 divided by 36. And 5 into 3 gives you 15 divided by 36. Now according to the definition of like fractions are the fractions which have the same denominator. Now you can see all the three terms are having same denominator as 36. Denominator is same, so these terms are like terms, like fractions. So to convert unlike fractions to like fractions, first of all take the LCM of the denominator term and then convert it into like fractions. This same question can be asked in the terms like that, which is the larger term among these three terms. So you can see on comparing the same denominator 42 by 36 is the largest term, then 20 by 36, and then 15 by 36. So you can solve any kind of problem which is coming in the way, how to convert the unlike fraction to like fractions, and how to compare the 3 or 4 terms and to get the answer as which is the largest term. Now we will take the last example of our lecture. We have to compare 7 by 9 comma 11 by 6, that which is the larger term. So first of all, take the LCM of the denominator term. LCM of the denominator term is 9 into 6 gives you 54. So on comparing the denominator term with the numerator term, 7 into 6 divided by 9 into 6 and 11 into 9 divided by 6 into 9. So we get the denominator as 54. 7 into 6 gives you 42 divided by 54 and 99 divided by 54. Now you can see that the denominator term is same. So on comparing the numerator term, we get the answer as 99 upon 54 is greater than 42 by 54. So in fraction term, 11 by 6 is larger than 7 by 9. This is our answer. So thank you students. In our next lecture, we will discuss about the properties of decimals and what are decimals. Thank you.